get the feeling that the whole world's marvellous, that everything's going to go swinging your way forever and ever. I felt that the day Liz and I left school. Oh, I'll be glad to get rid of that hat. I slung my old straw hat away with the tacky ribbons, swore I'd never touch it again. Liz and I had been talking over for weeks what we were going to do. Of course, we were going on our holidays first, but after that, Liz is going to be a fashion editress, and of course, I'm just cut out to be a film star. No, but seriously, though, we wanted to get a job together. I mean, we'd been Liz and Sally for so long that it seemed a pity not to go on with it. So Liz suggested right away that we get all the papers together and go through them for jobs that would suit the both of us. We said we'd meet at Leone's, which is where the scene's made around here. See you tonight, around 8. Cheers!
I'd like to do a job that's sort of useful. Do you know what I mean?
What, you mean like social work?
Yes, I don't go for that. What about this? Kennel maids required.
Not likely. Do you remember Naomi? She was crazy about animals. She took one of those jobs, got bitten twice in her first week. No, I'd sooner do something that's dealing with people. They're far more interesting than dogs, and genuinely speaking, they don't bite.
What about this? The GPO advertising for telephonists.
Oh, what about training?
They give you that, and pay, too.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. How do we apply?
We can phone for an interview.
Right, you do that first thing tomorrow morning. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Sally.
Hi.
Any room here?
Come sit down. We're looking for jobs. What are you doing?
Oh, we're going to be shorthand typists.
Do you know how long the training is for that? I think it's about...
Of course, I suppose shorthand typing, like Sheila was going to do, is all right. But I still thought that what Sally and I were going for sounded more interesting. And it is a useful job. At least, I saw myself dealing with all sorts of important people when Sally and I went along for the interview.
Do you remember the wind that day? I thought I was going to be blown right away.
Do I? Of course, Sally and I went to the recruitment centre in London. But there are lots more all over the country. And they all give the same kind of interviews and tests.
Miss Spencer and Miss George, would you like to come with me, please?
When we got there, we were called in to see the supervisor.
You must be Miss Spencer. Sit down, please. Thank you.
The interview and the tests and things were quite fun, really. They wanted to see what sort of person you were, and whether you'd be able to manage a switchboard properly. They talked to you on the telephone to practice getting names clearly. And we were tested on looking up codes.
H.
Fine. Now, Longfield.
F.
T-H-U-A-H-T-V X-A-M-U-T H-A-Y-U-X-V. So that was that. There we were, all passed and feeling we were practically telephonists already. But before we started, we'd already made up our minds to go away together on holiday. We'd got it all planned. You see, there were these two boys and we... But that'd be another story altogether if we once started on that. Anyhow, we got back with the most fab tans, and soon enough, there we were, outside the new telephone exchange, which is where we were starting our new jobs. Can you tell me where trainees go, please?
Switch room on the second floor.
Thank you very much.
Of course, everything new seems a bit strange at first, but they made it all as easy as possible. They took us round and explained how the place was run. They showed us the switch room where we were going to learn to handle real telephone calls. You start right away. You have a group leader assigned who's responsible for your training. She shows you exactly what you have to do and helps you out if you get into trouble. Then there's what they call programmed learning. The post office is developing this. It's something quite new. Each trainee has her own programmed lesson with a tape recorder, and you hear all sorts of typical situations and how to cope with them. Some of them are quite funny.
Would you spell the exchange, please? P-E-O-P-L-E-T-O-N.
Teetleton, thank you.
Do you say T? It's P.
Number, please. Bulldog 2041. And what is your number, please? St Albans 59201. Number, please. Newport 2271. What is your number, please?
I remember the first day they let me loose on the board. What the callers would have thought if they'd known. But it was fun, just the same. And I found I really could do it.
Do you know which Newport the subscriber wants? You better check.
Which Newport did you want, caller? Newport, Pembrokeshire.
And our group leader was always there to help out. She really was patient, I can tell you.
Cheer up, you'll soon get the hang of it. I sometimes wonder. In a few weeks, you'll wonder why you ever found it so difficult. Number, please. Worthing 2682. Your number, please. Green 2626. How long have you been a telephonist? More than 6 years. I'll be sorry to leave. Thank you. Are you leaving? Yes, I'm getting married. Now, let's get on with it. The first thing a good operator learns is not to chat on the job.
Julie was a dear. We were sorry to be going to lose her. She told us lots about the prospects for our job. There's lots of opportunity to get on in the telephone service. They're always going to need really experienced operators for the overseas switchboards. It's funny. There you are, chatting away to other operators, thousands of miles away. For instance, French-speaking operators qualify for extra pay. That's something to think about when you take a holiday abroad, perhaps. All the supervisor instructors in the service want telephonists themselves. That's another way you can get promotion. They get special training. I should think that would be a very interesting job, because you're dealing with people and their problems, which is one of the things I like. But in the meantime, you were really beginning to get the hang of our job as telephonists. Julie was quite right. In just about a couple of weeks, Sally and I were as quick as anything, and we soon got to know all the others. Number, please. Newtown 5672.
Can Mr. Smith take a personal call from Newtown?
Green 3867.
Well, thank you. Would you hold the line, please?
I'm sorry, the lines are engaged. Shall I try the call later? I'll call you.
+2491. Thank you.
One of the main things about our job is that it's such a nice, I don't know, friendly kind of atmosphere. That's what I like best about it. You can go into the canteen when you have a break, and there's always someone to talk to. We made all sorts of new friends. And you get post office meal vouchers, too. Oh, I almost forgot that. Most telephone exchanges have restaurants, And if you're under 19, you get these meal vouchers so that you can get a proper meal as well as tea and biscuits and that kind of thing.
Anyhow, time went by, and pretty soon they were coming round with a collecting box for Julie's wedding. We decided to get her a set of glasses from everyone, and we found ever such a pretty set, all different colours in the special box. Anne, the girl who was collecting, reminded Liz and me about the Telephone Personality Girl of the Year contest. I wanted to find out all about it. It's a national competition, and the final goes on television, and Anne was making up a party to go up to the finals in London.
But I'll always remember that day, when we got back to the switch room. Emergency switch service, please. What is your number, please? Hold the line, please. I'm connecting you with the ambulance service. Oh, sorry.
Come on in and tell me what you think.
It's super.
Yeah. Did you make it? Carol made it.
The material is gorgeous. Super, isn't it?
Liz just had to take an emergency call. What did it feel like, Liz?
Well, it's something I've been secretly dreading, but, well, I don't know. When it happened, I just seemed to do the right thing.
Gosh, it made me jump when that buzzer went off. But it hasn't put you off the job, has it?
No. I really feel I'm doing something useful now.
Come on. This dress will be the emergency if I don't hurry up. Let's get it off you.
Julie looked just gorgeous at her wedding. The dress that Carol had made for her was beautiful. And everyone made groups for the photographer and chatted outside the church. Which reminds me that Sally and I hadn't been letting the grass grow under our feet. Let me introduce Tim and Mike. Tim's the dark one, but I like Mike best.
And I like Tim. When we'd all thrown our rice and confetti and the cars had driven away, Tim told me he and Mike had got something to show us. And there was their new Mini. Well, fairly new. We were planning to take our winter holiday with them, because the post office gives you some time off in the winter too. And now the boys had got something to go in. It seems a long time since that day when we finished with school. It was just a few months ago. But I'm glad we asked for an interview at the telephone recruitment centre. That was a telephone call really worth making.
And the number's in the phone book, too.